أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم. Welcome to another in the series of training videos produced by FOSIS Wales and West, aimed at making your Islamic society as professional and as good as can be, fulfilling the prophetic command of ihsan in all that we do, excellence inshallah. So these online video tutorials, they're going to take you through some basic aspects of running an ISOC. And today, we're looking at strategic thinking. Strategic thinking is really an important aspect of ensuring your society is heading somewhere. So what is strategic thinking? Well, first of all, it's long-term plans. It's about having a vision and an aim and a goal which transpires beyond your own stay within that society. It's about direction, making sure not only this year, but in the coming years, you move in the same direction. It's about consistency. So you're going to eventually hand over to a new committee. Are they going to completely change the way your society works or the goal your society wants to achieve? Or are they going to be working in complement to what you have already achieved, building upon the foundations to reach somewhere amazing? And finally, it's bringing order into chaos. As an Islamic society, you can do anything, but that doesn't mean you should do everything. Now, you really need to choose what activities are going to be really effective in making you a successful Islamic society. That's what strategic thinking is all about. So goals. The aspect of strategic thinking we're going to look at today is goals. It's really important you establish three things for your society. The first is a vision. A vision statement is a long-term aim, a long-term ambition, something you want to achieve in the far future. The second thing you should establish for your society is aims, or aims. Aims are essentially the methods by which you will achieve your vision. They're specific, but not too, pernickety. They're more general. And finally, objectives. Objectives are all about what you should be doing day to day, week to week, as an Islamic Society committee member this year. So let's have a look around this diagram. Vision is at the top because it's the furthest away from you, it's long term, and it's also the smallest because there's only one vision statement. Next on the diagram will come aims. Aims are, several. For each vision, for the vision, there should be several aims about how to reach it. And it's more intermediate. You want to have some kind of idea of achieving your aims within several years, within a few generations of an Islamic society lifetime. And next are objectives. For each aim, there should be several objectives. So there should be numerous objectives, more so than aims. And they should be specific to what you do every day on campus. They should be specific to what you do every day as an Islamic society. Now let's go through a few examples to give you an idea and a flavor of what it is we're talking about. So let's give an example vision statement. Something like to create a community of Muslim students who are examples of prophetic character and work for the betterment of society at all levels. Nice, generic, it's quite open and it covers a lot of work. An example aim or example aims from this list could include to educate Muslim students about Islam. This way you're helping them fulfill that prophetic character. To facilitate opportunities to practice Quranic principles. It's not enough just to have the theoretical knowledge. You want to be able to give them an opportunity to, put the theory into practice, to implement Quranic principles and ethics. And you want to provide a safe environment within university for your Muslim students to grow as individuals. All three of these will help you achieve your vision. All three of these will take you closer to having that society full of Muslim students who exemplify Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam's character, as well as, really working to benefit society. Objectives. Let's look at some objectives. First thing you do, you take an aim. In this case, it's to educate Muslim students about Islam. Now, how are you going to do that as the president this year, as a committee member this year? First of all, maybe you'll hold Islamic Society circles on campus, a halaqah on campus every week, teaching aspects of Islam. Or maybe you're going to invite an educated scholar on campus to deliver a lecture, reaching a wider audience. And perhaps you're going to provide Qur'ans, so that if a Muslim wants to develop his relationship with Allah, you can provide him the resources immediately. These objectives are there for you to achieve this year, to help you achieve your aim, to help you achieve your vision. Again, remember this very important point. Keep your objectives SMART. SMART is an acronym, and it means specific. Your objectives should be specific. You're going to hold a halaqah, a circle, on campus, and it's going to be about this topic, and it's going to be in this location. You're going to know exactly what it means. It should be measurable. So at the end of the year, you know whether or not you've held your halaqahs. If you held it half the year, and you didn't hold it half the year, you know that was a partial success. You can measure your level of success. It's not something subjective. It's not something where you can argue about maybe yes, maybe no. It's attainable. Now this is important. Maybe as a society, you just don't have the resources to hold a halaqah every week. Whether it's the funding, whether it's a room, whether it's being able to find a scholar. If it's not possible for you to do that, don't try and achieve it. It'll just overburden you and you'll fail. Find something which is attainable. Relevant. Now these circles, what are they going to be about? Perhaps about, the basics of Islam, or about prophetic character. Something that reflects your aims and your vision. It shouldn't be so generic, or it shouldn't be so specific that it isn't relevant. There's no point holding, the Islamic view on quantum mechanics as a halaqah if that doesn't benefit you. And finally, it's time bound. When it comes to a weekly Islamic circle, it's weekly. You know when it should happen. And you know that if you haven't done it in the first month of setting up as a society, you kind of failed. You have some kind of sense of the time scale which these objectives are set to. So let's have a quick run through. Vision, answer the question, what do you want to achieve? Aims, answer the question, what must happen for you to achieve it? Objectives are all about how you will make it happen. If you're having difficulties making your vision, aims and objectives, answer these questions, condense them down into an appropriate statement, and go from there. So final remarks. First, vision, aim, objectives. These three aspects, three goals, three items of strategic thinking are important to a successful ISOC. Without them, you will be making mistakes, you will be wasting your time, you will not be as effective as you could be. Finally, they're simple to write, but they have lasting benefits. They will bring benefit to society long after you've graduated and moved on, so don't underestimate them. Use these tools and renew them from time to time. A good idea is to sit at the beginning of the year with your committee members and come up with a renewed vision, a renewed aims, and a renewed set of objectives. And if you renew them every now and again, you'll keep them relevant, you'll keep them beneficial. So don't let these tools go to waste. Make sure you use them. And most importantly, trust Allah. No amount of strategic thinking is a substitute for the help of Allah. He controls whether your actions are successful or not. He is the one whose power and might makes all things possible. Trust Him, rely upon Him, and always purify your intentions before, during and after the action. Inshallah, if we can grow closer to Allah through our action, then it'll be benefit for us. And anything which doesn't take us closer to Allah is not of benefit. So these are all methods by which you can grow closer to Allah. Keep that in mind. Further reading, just a quick note. Short little book. It's an excellent book. Really beneficial. Strategic planning and implementation for Islamic organizations. If you're interested in this topic, go to this book to read up a bit further.
And finally, as always, if you have any questions, you can go to our website wales.fosis.org.uk and email us at wales.isoctraining@fosis.org.uk. Thank you for listening. Jazakallah khair. Assalamu alaikum.